Hey guys, what's going on? It's your host, Jazray Leva, and you're here with me on the Lay It Down podcast, where I lay it down. So, on today's episode, we're going to be talking about ghosts, urban legends, and conspiracy theories. And if you're into that stuff, let me know, like, comment down below things that you want to see and stories that you want to hear about. So, majority of these stories are like personal experiences that I've gone through, um, or like stuff that I've heard about, and that's just like for the stories for today. Other stories I'll be looking up, but today I thought it'd be nice to just start off with something that's actually happened to me or like stuff that I've thought of, like this story. So, when I was about 8 years old, my cousin had spent the night at my house, right? Okay. And so, like, we were just having this day of fun. And oh my gosh, I remember my mom, she found out that, like, I didn't do any of my school break homework. Like, when you have breaks, your teachers assign you assignments, and you're just kind of like, I'm not trying to do that. Okay, well, like, I did that. My mom found out, but, that's a story for another day. Anyways, so this was like around bedtime, and my older sister, she ended up going to sleep before me and my cousin. And so, like, she fell asleep, and my parents are in the living room watching like some sort of TV movie. I don't even know. I don't remember. So long ago. Anyways, so I like the way that my room was set up, like the bed was like right in front of the door, and so you can stare out to it. And I remember I saw this man. And he like looked like my dad. And mind you, like, this house was definitely haunted. Like, this house was definitely haunted. I can tell you many stories, but that's for another day. um I don't know. I feel like this may be relevant, but like just for some like backstory, our old neighbor who was like a friend of ours, he told us that, well, he told me and my sister that apparently that his aunt died in that house. Like there was like this party and like something happened, so she ended up dying. I don't know how true that is, but this house was definitely haunted. Okay, back to this man. This man, he looked like my dad, and he was about like the same height as him, but he was wearing um, like this like this tuxedo, almost for like a wedding. But mind you, my parents' wedding had already passed, and my dad was alive. So, like, who is this man? And it was weird too because like I could see him standing there, but like I couldn't see his feet. But like he wasn't floating, he was just like standing there. I don't know. But while this was going on, my cousin, she was like seeing this guy. I'm not even say a guy, but like she kept seeing like this thing like running back and forth like quickly. She said that it would just like go in and out, and like she couldn't tell what it was, but like she could see it. And I, anyways, um, back to this man. I remember I was telling this story to a friend like years later, and it didn't hit me until I was telling her that I was like, you know what? That could have been my Uncle David, the one who died as an infant. And so, Uncle David, if that was you that night, it was nice seeing you, and you scared me, but like, you didn't scare me. Like, I wasn't scared of him, but like, he scared me because I was like, that's a ghost. But it was good seeing you that night. And speaking of night, have you ever wondered, like, whenever you stare at the sky, why there are no stars? Like sometimes I remember I would like look at the sky to see. I would try to count stars, I was that kid. I would try to count the stars, okay, you know, and I'd be counting, and it didn't even last that long. And so the next night, I would count the stars, and then the next night, I was like, "Yo, where those stars at?" But there was no stars, and so like I would try to count the stars, and I don't know. I was just like, why are there no stars? Like, have you ever thought of that? Like, why are there no stars? But you know, I come from a religious background. For those who know me, you know, and there's like a part in the Bible that says when Lucifer fell from heaven, he took a third of the angels with him. But if you read it in like different texts, like this is in Revelations, if like y'all want to try and find it, but it says that like he took a third of the stars with him. And so I remember like years later, I like pieced that together, and I was just like, wow. Like, isn't that so cool? Like, it's kind of creepy. And it's like kind of crazy too. Like, if you think about it, like, oh, like the angels are stars. But like, it's not crazy in like a bad way. It's crazy like in an interesting way. Like, have you ever thought about it? Like what if that's true? Like, what if the angels are stars? But like, that's just how we see them because they're so far away. I don't know. Yeah, call me crazy, but that's just one of my theories that I think. I just think it's fun. You know, it's fun to think about. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, if that's something that you ever thought about, if like you thought about that before, or if you just have different theories, because you know, I would love to hear them. And you know, like ghost stories to urban legends. Ooh, speaking of urban legends, have you ever heard about the Goat Man? Yeah, I know. Goat Man? What Goat Man? No, I remember when I was younger, my cousin and his friend Jacob came to visit, and his friend Jacob was like telling us stories about the Goat Man, and like the way that he talked about the Goat Man, like makes me think of Kevin Hart. You know, whenever he's like encounters the ostrich, and he's like, his legs were going this way, but his face was going this way, and like the way that he's just running, like I always think of that. And you know, people say that he can run super fast, and that he has like the face and like upper body of like a man, but then like the lower half is of a goat. And so like Jacob used to always tell like these like crazy stories, and I think it was because like he would catch me like going up on YouTube and like looking up like those weird videos, like you know when you come across like the weird side of YouTube and you're like looking up of like mermaids seen in this, like this is what mermaids actually look like, aliens seen here, because you know back in the day when you had to have like the computer in the living room, yeah, that was us, okay. And so he would like tell these stories. Like he told me of the Goat Man. He also told me like this, that like one time his grandpa found like little clothes made out of grass, and so like they would hear like something like running up the walls, and they thought they were rats, but like then they were just like, oh, like maybe they're gnomes, like little gnomes, like think Romeo and Juliet, or actually technically it'd be smaller than that, but that's besides the point. But Jacob kind of scared me with this story because he told me that it was near like my hometown in Texas, that there was like this dirt road that like you could drive up, and if you drove too far down it, there would be this like old man like standing near the road like telling you to turn around, and like if you passed him and like didn't listen to him, like and you continued down that road, the Goat Man would like randomly like appear and like start chasing your car, and like no matter how fast you went, he would like stay with that pace, or even worse, like he would be like right on the side of it, and so like you guys would be like right by each other. He would keep up with it until there was like no more road. And you know, if there's no more road, you know what kind of happens there. So either the goat man distracted you enough that it led to your ending, or you might just get lucky and pay attention enough to be able to brake before you hit the end of the road. And that is all I have for today. Thanks, guys. Ciao.